YouTube. Another update. And I think I'd actually be doing one in 2 weeks. I thought it'd be 3 or 4 because stuff was happening so slowly. But anyways, a couple things happened. So first up, see, I got some little bit of green grass down there. And then it's kind of overlapped, but there's the cinder subgrade. So I got that in. That doesn't look too, it looks pretty good. Other thing I did was I came right here and I put in my switch lead. Got it all glued down and everything. I don't have any feeders in here, but the sand stops right there, so I can still add feeders on the back end, so I don't have any worries about that, and it runs pretty well when I can run drains. And I'll have more on that in a little bit here. So I got that in, but it comes in here, comes through the hill, and then pardon the mess on this side, this is kind of the catch-all end, but it pops out and it ends right there. And right here I'm going to insulate it. Both rails insulated there, both rails insulated on the turnout at the end and crossover. That's where I'll put my, eventually, section where I can toggle between DC or DCC. Because that comes in every now and then for locomotive decoder installations or, something like that. Sorry. And part of my shaky camera work as usual. But, so I did that. See, I got cinder subgrade in here. Next thing up, I don't know if I showed you this, but I kind of started in on my unloading pit. It'll be like that. I got a little bit more work to do. Right now it's in halves. I got to take this half out. I'm cut a little hole in the bottom where you'd have the conveyor belt coming over. And then take this sheet of styrene, which, by the way, this is where the factory is going to go about. Take that sheet of styrene and build a covered side where the conveyor bring the coal up, and then a head house to cover the top of my PVC silos. So that's where that is. Did some more ballast work. I pulled the ballast from there a little farther over. Obviously that's cinders because it's switching lead. And then right here in the main line, what I decided to use for it is actually kind of a custom gray blend. It's not really custom, it's gray blend, but it's coarse gray blend. And then I went back and added some more coarse dark because it looked fine in the container, but when I put some just plain gray blend on the layout, it was way too light for my taste. Yeah. So I did that. I got it coming along on both sides. I stopped it right there, and then I got this cinder subgrade in all the way over. I stopped right there because that's where a signal will go eventually. So that's what I've been doing there. It's a couple things. Next thing I did was, you see, I got my, just a second, let me get my bridge and I'll show you what this looks like. With the bridge on, with said bridge on said mountain, or hill, or whatever you want to call it. And my fingers are shaky. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. My right hand's steadier than my left. But I got finished. You can see it's a combination bridge abutment, tunnel portal, because you can see in the back right there, slash retaining wall. So we're looking in. There's the entrance to the tunnel. I think it does a good job at disguising it, honestly. So I got that done. It's just styrene that I cut with a ruler and a utility knife. Glued it together, some testers, some testers glue, and I mean that's seriously it. It wasn't hard at all. So next thing up is filling all these little gaps in around it. There's one there, and see, I gotta fix that. It's still a little flimsy, but there's a little bit of a gap here. If I can get my stupid finger out of the way there, and then there's a little bit of a gap there. Still gotta put that rock on too, but there's that gap to fill. And then if you look back here, one thing I don't like is you look up here. Okay, move that piece of foam. You can see right there where the hill drops, and you can see the foam and the gap. Okay, let me get up here where my eyeball line is. There. So that's what I'm seeing right now looking at. You can see the gap, the pink foam in there. So I'm going to take this, trim it a little bit, just set it like that, trim up the sides. And then cover it in some plaster cloth. We were going to repaint the hill anyway, so I decided I'd do that. And also think I'll go over and cover in some Sculptamold. You can see places like right here where the paint didn't cover and the plaster didn't spread through all the cloth. It's probably partially my fault just because the cloth we got is it's like 10 years old. It's a fairly old roll cloth, but yeah, no, I'll fix that and then we'll get this thing repainted. Right there is where I was going to put the rocks. They aren't glued on yet, they're just sitting there. But I don't think it looks too bad. So that's that. Next up is mix up some Sculptamold, and I'm going to just coat this, give it a fairly thick coat, smooth out the bottom, give little divots, like where the water has burrowed out the sand on the bottom of the creek. But it's for that, but the main purpose, well, that's one purpose. The other purpose, which is the main purpose, is to basically get this all sealed up and smoothed out, so when I come back and I pour some magic water or Virotex in here, it doesn't sink through the plaster cloth and get on the plywood, or sink in through here and get in the foam. I mean, you hear it pretty good right here, but I mean, there's a gap. There's a couple places where it didn't this here as well, and then over here it didn't come up a little light, but, and do the same thing on the other side. So that's just, get that sealed off. Let's see what else. That's it. Oh, one last thing. I also marked out, this is where Freight House is going to go. And then there's the art office, and then there's my library. I don't think I showed you this, but there's the base. That piece of ply, I got two pieces of styrene in there. That one's base height, that one's at the same level as that plastic. And then I put some strips, which basically serve as riders or I-beams pretty much. And then their piece of styrene that's waiting to get painted, it'll go on top of that. And that'll be our floor. And paint all the sides up black so light doesn't seep out. The main, whatever we want for the walls. Put some LEDs in it. Run them through that little hole right there. And there you go, that's what's coming with that. Sorry about the layout, it's a mess, as usual. I was in the middle of an op session. Since I'm at 9 minutes, 7 seconds, one other thing, anybody out there has a Digitrax duplex radio system. I don't want infrared, I want duplex radio. This was infrared, and having to stay in line of sight perfectly was killing me. Duplex radio, so hands-free. I need one of those. My Dynamis just crashed. I don't know why. I'm in a couple emails with Bachman. I'll send it in, have him look at it. But I was going to change up to Digitrax anyways, just because it meet the needs better. It's a better fit for the needs I'm going to have on the expansion. But yeah, if anyone out there has a Digitrax Star Set or knows somebody who does, please, please, please let me know. It'd be really great if it came in fairly cheap. Okay, that doesn't sound right. A decent price. Yeah, let's put it that way. Decent price, not 600 or 700, like you have when you order it directly from Digitrax. So yeah, let's just throw that out there. Okay, real quick. I also found out they're finishing the last of the work on Union Pacific's 844. So hopefully sometime this year, this summer, I'm going to go out and see it. So that'll obviously be a video, but that's still 6-7 months out. So, alright everybody, take care, God bless, as usual. Please comment, I'd love to hear from you. There's a like button, and then there's always the subscribe button. So, I'll see you next time.